Lots of books coming out this new comic book day, but it's a light week for me. It's time to take a look at the solicitations and tell you what I'm getting. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Now, on this channel, I do comic book unboxings, reviews, haul videos, and really everything in between. So if you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button, then hit that bell icon so that you're notified whenever new videos go live. We just had our 3,000 subscriber giveaway celebration. It was super dope. So congrats to the winners, Ronnie, Kev, Lawrence. Congratulations to you guys. It was super dope. And I can't wait to hit our next milestone. So make sure you're subscribed so that you're there when it happens. Now, this is a series I like to call What I'm Getting, where I take a look at the books coming out this week. I tell you what is on my pull list, what's on the chopping block, and what's on the maybe list for the week. This week, again, is another exciting new comic book day, and I get to tell you, which books I'm getting. I always like to start with the book that I'm most excited for. This week, that is Icon and Rocket, Season 1, Issue number 2. Now, Icon and Rocket, part of the Milestone Returns line of comics. This one is written by Reggie Hudlin with art by Doug Braithwaite. I actually did a review of issue number 1. Long story short, I really liked it. I felt like it was super faithful to the source material, except one crucial, I guess you could call it a flaw, but just one really crucial difference. And I'm excited to see, in absence of that detail, you can look at the review to see what I'm talking about, just how they're going to flesh out this world and the differences between Icon or Augustus and Raquel. So all in all, I've been enjoying the series. Well, I enjoyed issue 1, and let's see if issue 2 really deepens my love for the series. The artwork by Doug Braithwaite is amazing. But that's Icon and Rocket Season 1, Issue number 2 by Reggie Hudlin, Leon Chills, and Doug Braithwaite. It's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Now, since we're talking about Milestone, now, heads up, just something crazy. So there are conflicting reports as to when Static Season 1, Issue number 3 is coming out. Some sites have it listed as this Wednesday. Other sites are showing it got pushed back a week. I believe it was pushed back, so it won't be out until August 31st. But just a heads up, it might be out this week. It might not. So there's that. But anyway, since we're talking about Milestone, that's an imprint of DC. So let's move on to DC Comics. First item from my DC Comics pull list this week is Batman Superman issue 21. Yes, a while back I said I was going to drop Batman Superman, but then I found out it was going to end at issue 22, and I'm like, well, I might as well finish Gene Lin Yang's run in single issues. This is not a huge run. So it's got a cover price of $3.99. I have no idea what's happening. I'm just picking it up until the series ends. I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, Batman Reptilian number 3. Batman Reptilian being I believe it's a 6-part series by Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp. It's a Black Label book. From what I've heard, it's the best Batman book on shelves. I still haven't cracked open my issue 1. It's somewhere in a stack of comics I need to sort through and read. But at this point, I've committed to the single issue so that I'm not rushing out to buy the hardcover whenever that comes out. We'll see how it goes. But Batman Reptilian number 3 has got a cover price of $4.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next is Detective Comics 1042. Detective Comics by Mariko Tamaki. Art sometimes by Dan Mora, sometimes by others. I'm not sure who's doing the art this issue. I'm about 4 issues behind on Detective Comics. Yeah, I'm going to have just like a reading day. I got to have a day where I'm not shooting any videos. I tell my wife, hey, let me get like 3 hours to myself, and I'm just gonna read and read and read. That's what I'm gonna need to do to get caught up on this pull list. But anyway, Detective Comics issue 1042's also got a cover price of $4.99. DC, you're killing me, man. And I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, Infinite Frontier number 5. This event is almost over. The penultimate issue. It's going to end with issue number 6. And once again, I haven't read a single issue. So I'm going to go ahead and binge read eventually, or I might just wait till issue 6 comes out and read it like a big trade. My understanding is this is like the crisis leading up to the crisis. It's going to reset the DC universe, or I shouldn't say reset. It's going to set up the new status quo. And man, am I tired of like status quo changing events. I feel like DC has been in one long event since I started reading back in 2019. But I love Josh Williamson. I think he's actually really smart, or he does really good writing, really suspenseful, and just he cares a lot about the source material. So when I get caught up, I'm sure I'll like it. But for now, it's daunting. But that's got a cover price of $4.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Now, here's a book that I'm really excited for. You guys already know my favorite Robin is Damian Wayne, and he's got his own series. And of course, it's called Robin. So this is Robin issue number 5. And so far, this series has been about Robin, or Damian, trying to assert his identity, go out and win this tournament and prove that he's like the ultimate fighter and blah, 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 right? Well, the Bat family wants him to come home and just be a part of the Bat family. So all the other Robins, Jason, Tim, Dick, Nightwing, all of them are coming to try to convince Damian to leave this island, leave this tournament, and join his rightful place, right? So I'm excited to see him have his little, his Lion King come back to Pride Rock moment, or see if he spurns it and decides to do something else altogether. That's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Although I must say, those Francis Manipal cover Bs for this series specifically are really awesome, and I wish I had gotten in on them from the beginning because I like those covers a lot. But anyway, last book on my DC Comics pull list this week is Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 2. So John Kent has taken the mantle of Superman while Clark is off-world. And he's got to adjust to being Superman. In issue 1, we kind of saw him being his own Superman, standing for truth, justice, and a better world, to some people's chagrin. But anyway, so we're getting a glimpse of the type of Superman that John wants to be. But now we got to figure out, okay, what kind of John is John going to be? So he's choosing a secret identity in this issue. And we're going to see a little bit more of his regular life and how he's balancing that. So that's going to be interesting to see. That's got a cover price of $3.99. I should have mentioned it's written by Tom Taylor with art by John Timms. I love Tom Taylor's writing, so I'm sure I'm going to love this issue. But yeah, it's got a cover price of $3.99. I'm just getting the cover A. And that rounds out my DC Comics pull list. So if I just stick to the list, I don't buy any random variants or extra issues, then I'm just looking at a cover or a total of $31 for my DC Comics. It's heavy for one publisher, but it's light elsewhere. So anyway, let's get to the rest of the pull list. So, of course, we talked about DC, and it's only right that we talk about Marvel next. So, from Marvel Comics, the first book on my pull list is Amazing Spider-Man issue 72. And this is the same as last week. Amazing Spider-Man manages to put out like 85 issues a week or a month. So, every week we're talking about Spider-Man, whether it's the main title or the Sinister War scenes. But anyway, Amazing Spider-Man number 72, we're moving closer and closer to the death or the absence, the loss somehow of Peter Parker. We got to figure out how Ben Reilly is going to end up becoming Spider-Man, and wrap up all of Nick Spencer's dangling plot threads with a neat little bow. We only got 2 issues left to do it after this one. So anyway, Amazing Spider-Man issue 72 has a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up, Nonstop Spider-Man, issue number 4. Nonstop Spider-Man, allegedly is being canceled after issue number 5 or 6. I don't know. It's been marred by delays, so I don't even remember what was happening except the first issue of Nonstop Spider-Man where there's some kind of new drug going around and Peter's trying to stop the cartel or whatever. And it's just super action-packed. The artwork by Chris Bachalo is super like anime inspired, a lot of speed lines, very frenetic book. And so they're saying that this is supposed to be that all the way around. I think it's written by Joe Kelly. But what I love are these David Finch covers. So, of course, that's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Next up from Marvel Comics is Wolverine issue 15. I'm still behind on Wolverine, but he's still the best there is at what he does. He's still my favorite character, so as long as Wolverine has a title, chances are I'm not dropping it, even if I should. I still owe you guys that video about how I feel about the X-Men line right now. But anyway, Wolverine 15's got a cover price of $3.99, and it's the last book on my Marvel pull list. Just getting the cover A. So, if I just buy those 3 books, no to get any extras or anything, my Marvel pull list has a grand total of $12. Not bad, not bad. If you're counting, that means we are up to $43 on the pull list so far. But let's move on to the indies, the creator-owned, the smaller publishers. So, first up on my list is Philadelphia issue 16, written by Rodney Barnes with artwork by Jason Sean Alexander. They just announced there's like a spin-off series coming from the Philadelphia universe. I can't remember. It's not Blackula. It's like, anyway, there's a new series coming out of the Philadelphia universe, and I'm excited about that. But for now, the main Philadelphia series is enough for me. So issue 16's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm just getting the cover A. Now, you can't talk about Image Comics without talking about Todd McFarlane, right? And this is the first huge launch from Image Comics since the last huge launch from Image Comics, right? The last huge launch featuring this character was Spawn #1 back in like '92. Well, now we've got King Spawn #1, and it's launching with a huge issue, a million variant covers. Like, King Spawn is looking legit. Written by Todd McFarlane. I don't know who's doing art. There's a lot of artists on here. There's certainly a lot of cover artists on here. And I'm having a hard time deciding which one I want. But I love the McFarlane cover. I love the Brett Booth cover, which now I'm definitely getting the Brett Booth cover because it's going to connect with the other Spawn, the Gunslinger Spawn, and God, what is the team book called? I can't remember. But anyway, when all those new Spawn universe titles launch, they're going to have a cover by Brett Booth, and they're all going to connect. I'm getting that one. But David Finch has got a cover. Donny Cates has a cover. There's so many covers, and they all look awesome. But it's got a cover price of $5.99. And I'll decide one when I get to the shop. Now, the one I'm probably not going to get is the coveted 1 in 250 signed by Todd McFarlane. I just don't have the money for these types of ratio variants, although it's very tempting to buy it and send it to CGC, but you win some, you lose some. But anyway, King Spawn #1, like I said, it's got a cover price of $5.99. And rounding out my independent, creator-owned, smaller publisher pull list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 120. 20 issues have passed since I first started buying Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's wild. It's crazy to think that I've been in comics as long as I have. I mean, it's not nearly as long as most collectors, but 2 years is a long time. But anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a series I've kind of been iffy on. It's not as action-packed as I imagined it would be. I just recently picked up the IDW Ultimate Collection, Volume 1, so I'm excited to get into that and read about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the beginning. But anyway, this one's got a cover price of $3.99, and I'm going after that Kevin Eastman cover B. I always love getting the Eastman covers for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so this one's no different. Like I said, I got a cover price $3.99. I'm getting the cover B, and that's it for my indie pull list. So my indie total is $14 this week, and that brings my grand total for the week up to $57. That's before taxes and before any subscriber discounts. So after my discount, it's going to be somewhere around 50. What's that? Yeah, I'm going to get like $5 off. Not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, 52. I can deal with that. I'm basically at my budget, and that's totally fine. But anyway, I want to know what's on you guys' pull list this week. What books are you looking out for? What books are you excited about? What books am I not buying that you're like, dude, why aren't you buying that? I know one big #1 from Marvel is Kang the Conqueror. I'm not super big on Marvel Cosmic. I don't know anything about Kang the Conqueror. And I'm sure, being as a new Marvel #1, there'll be plenty of issues to go around. So I'll pick it up later if I decide I'm interested. But as you can see, my backlog is huge enough without starting another new series. But yeah, what are you excited about? Are there any new indie titles? Put me on. Put me on in the comments. Only thing is I got to drop something so that I can pick this up. That's the thing. But anyway, let me know in the comments below while you're there. Check out our channel sponsors. Organic Price of Books just dropped an entire slate of Marvel pre-orders, a bunch of Omnis that are up for pre-order right now, and DC Omnis as well, including the reprint of Gotham Central, the reprint of the Death and Return of Superman Omnibus. There's a lot of great books going up for sale right now, so you should check them out. And if you use my code BJKicks at checkout, you save $2 off every order every time. But anyway, I hope you saw something you liked in this video, and if not, that's cool. So you can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy, and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.